You edit the goddamn tape to make him look bad. And you put nothing but bad plays on there for him. How terrible of a guy can you be? That's just goofy behavior, goofy energy. That man is goofy. But hey, let me show y'all what really hit this man where it hurt. And I said, if Mike Tomlin never babied you, boy, I ain't say boy, but if Mike Tomlin never babied you, AB84, NFL would have been an afterthought. You couldn't survive anywhere else. The Steelers organizations and players allowed you to act crazy. Facts. I didn't say facts. Lucky you never played on my team. You would have been dealt with immediately and not by the coach. Facts. That's a true statement. And yeah, man, that's a shot at all the Steelers players. Ryan Clark, you know what I mean? Troy Polamalu, Ben Roethlisberger. Who else is on that team? I don't know if the bus was there. How y'all let one man act crazy, all these men on one team, and y'all let this one man act crazy on the team? That is unacceptable. And anything a bunch of men doing together, you know, you got to get rid of a sour apple. That's how that go, you know? And this tweet really got to him because he understands, he know that this is the truth. You leave the Steelers, and yeah, you're still successful, but not even close to the level you was as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Now, don't get it twisted. AB is a hell of a player. Don't get it twisted. Now, I'm just shit talking. I like to talk my shit, right? AB is a hell of a player. We're not going to get that twisted. A hell of a player, hell of a route runner, quick, fast, all those good things. You know what I mean? But he didn't like that tweet. But I don't know why, because it's the truth. At the Patriots, he wouldn't have got away with that shit. You know what I mean? Big dog Willie McGinnis, got Rodney Harrison, Big Seymour, Richard Seymour, Caesar Lee. Then at the Eagles, he wouldn't have got away with that shit. I'm a vet then. I'm running the team by then. You know? If I got a problem with you, I'm going to step right to you. We're going to figure it out. And at the Falcons, same thing. Came over there, changed the whole dynamic of that team, talking about they soft and stuff like that. You know? He wouldn't have got away with that, acting all crazy, man. I'm telling you. He wouldn't have got away with it. You know, acting crazy like it's about him. And the rules don't apply to him. The rules apply to you, fool. The rules apply to you. And they got a place for crazy folks like you want to act crazy. Yeah, they got a place with bars on it. Keep acting like you're a fool. The leaders on my teams, including myself, the leaders on my team before I was one of the leaders, the leaders on my teams was not ever going for none of that. They was never going for none of that. And after my 4th year, I wasn't going for it. I wasn't having it. You know, after I established myself and, you know, became a vet, you know, I wasn't having it. You know, it took me a while to establish myself and become a vet with Bill Belichick, you know, trying to hold me back, and he messing, you know, with my mental things like that, my mental psyche and stuff like that, man. So, yeah, man. Yeah. But, AB, you got lucky, boy. Thank God, man. You need to pray to God every night, man, and tell him thank you for blessing you to drafting you to Mike Tomlinson and Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because anywhere else, you would have came to the Patriots, boy, right off the rip, boy. You wouldn't have survived, boy. Lucky for AB, boy. Yeah, you lucky. And what this whole shit talking spat came about is greatness. It's all about greatness with me. And I'm here to protect greatness. I'm always going to be here to protect greatness because there are players 20, 30, 40 years ago that were great and awesome. Y'all don't know about them. They're not popular. They don't have big names and things like that. And no one is going to give them credit. No one's going to stick up for them. You know, I will. Like I say, greatness. We have to stop throwing that word greatness around like it's such a common thing to accomplish. Greatness cannot be accomplished easily, guys and ladies and whoever else. Do you understand the word greatness? Greatness means separating yourself from everyone else. Right? I don't know who's great. I didn't know. I have to listen. I did a lot of studying over the years to learn. When someone says another person was great or is great, the first thing I do is look up the stats and compare that player to other players at that position. And then I see what I come up with. I see what they accomplished. I see their stats and all those things. That's how you determine and establish what great is. Someone tells you someone is great, you don't just be able to have an opinion about someone being great without doing some research. So for years, this is the honest to God truth. For years, I would hear everybody talk about AB, how good he is. I watched him. He was great. Good on the field and things like that. He did his thing. He was awesome, an awesome player. A lot of catches. I think he brought a lot of attention to himself for those outlandish dances and celebrations he used to do, booty shaking and shit like that. So that made him more popular. Y'all know we talk about with me and Prime, the perception and things like that. So yeah, he's good, man. But when we talking about great, you have to understand the difference between greatness. Now, y'all let me know, because this is a big debate and everyone was down my throat. It was some good, some bad. Is AB a top 10 all-time receiver in NFL history? Right? Let me repeat myself. Is Antonio Brown a top 5 all-time receiver in NFL history? And I'm gonna go ahead right off the rip and say, I disagree. No. Go to top 10. I mean, top 5, top 10. No. Right? I was gonna start at top 5. No. Then I was gonna end at top 10. But top 10. No. Right? And we're gonna get into it. Y'all may disagree with me. And but we're gonna debate and talk about it. And my thing is, I think people nominate their favorite players, or maybe the ones, or maybe the players who they determine are the most athletic when they start these conversations or these debates surrounding greatness. It's not about, they don't look at the history, the stats, and the productivity. I think most people just scream out their favorite players, the ones with the most following, the ones that they see on TV all the time for marketing and things like that, right? The ones that's talked about the most. And it shouldn't be like that. Because people have to understand every athlete, man, including myself, every athlete is out there working hard to be great, the greatest, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Everyone is out here working, trying to be great. So when a player accomplishes more than the other, but may not be so popular, don't just give the credit to the most popular person. That is so freaking unfair. You understand what I'm saying? That is so freaking unfair, y'all. That is so freaking unfair. That is so freaking unfair. And I had no clue about this, right? And if y'all bear with me, if y'all seen this one before, man, I didn't have my mic right the last time I did this. So we coming back at it. We getting back at it strong, bigger and better than ever. I had no clue about this. AB versus Julio Jones. And then I started to do some research. Like I said, when people say someone is great, you have to do your research. And let me say, I was shocked to see how these two players compare to each other and other greats at their wide receiver position. Antonio Brown and Julio Jones, if you can see on the screen right there, right? And don't y'all say y'all knew this either, unless you follow me on Twitter and you've been riding out with me on Twitter and you understand that I'm bringing things to your attention that you might not have realized. And we got Antonio Brown and Julio Jones. Julio Jones is one of those freak of nature athletes, right? He's one of those freak of nature type athletes, very fast, big and strong. I mean, he can jump out the gym. He can run a 4.3. I mean, he could stop on a dime. He can do all those things, right? All the things that a great athlete can do, and still at 6'3", 200 and plus pounds. You know, I played against Julio. I played against him and also, was on the same team as Julio. So I played against him when he was at the Falcons and I was at the Eagles, and I played and practiced with him when I became a Falcon. You right? And people say stats don't matter. That's the biggest misconception in football, the history of football, because there isn't a way to evaluate how great a player is without looking at stats. That's just the facts. Now, who do you believe had a better career? Antonio Brown or Julio Jones? Right? And a lot of people, who Antonio Brown has 17 million followers, so he has a bigger liking, you understand? And let's check this out. Moving right along. If y'all can see this, let me blow it up for y'all. Y'all can see this, man. This is the NFL all-time receiving list for wide receivers and tight ends in NFL. And you can see Larry Fitzgerald is at number two all-time in receiving yards, and he is guaranteed to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Ain't no doubt about that. Yes, Larry Fitzgerald, man, he put in a lot of work, has a lot of productivity, and man, yeah, nothing too much anyone can say about Larry Fitzgerald. Then you got Julio Jones. Check out Julio Jones. The surprise of the day. Julio Jones is number 16th all-time receiving yards. That is so underrated and so swept up under the rug. Not too many people know that. I am 100% guaranteed sure that people don't realize or understand that Julio Jones is 16th all time, right? I know y'all surprised because I was a little surprised. Unless you follow me on Twitter and you know I'm already talking that shit on Twitter, all right? I thought, me personally, because then I looked at Antonio Brown. This is when I found out he was 26 all time. 26 all time, and then everyone just throwing around how great he is, and he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, X, Y, and Z. I was totally shocked. Yes, he's a dog. He's a 5th round pick or 4th round pick like myself. We had to fight our way and claw our way to the top. Yes, but you still have to accomplish greatness to be considered great, right? Like I said, he's 26 all time, right? That's just in receiving yards. We have other stats and stuff like that. But I thought he would have been ranked a little higher than that, man. I can't lie to y'all. I would have thought Antonio Brown would have been ranked a little bit higher than that. Maybe in the top 10 in receiving yards. You know, the way he is talked about and loved and things like that. I get it. You know, he has a big follow. All I see on my timeline is AB is a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's all I see. And no one understands how the Hall of Fame works at all. But we can steady scream someone is a first round Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer, and they won't even be top 10 in the stats. How do we determine that? You know? And it's crazy because Hall of Fame should be such a prestige honor that what you have to accomplish to get there is just crazy, right? And we see Terrell Owens is number 3 all time. He used to be number 3. They screwed T.O. over, making him a second ballot Hall of Famer.